G'day, welcome back to the garden. We've got another little mini project today. Wasn't really planning this one, it just sort of popped in my head and thought, yeah, this is a good idea, I need to do something about it. So what I'm going to do, if the chooks will shut up for a minute, I'm actually not doing anything with these beds as such, but I'm going to copy a design. So let me flip this around for a second. All right, when I built this, I decided I wanted to have the extra row of pipes in the middle to give it some structural rigidity. And so the reason I did that is because we go back for a quick walk around here. Chooks are being very vocal today. These are the original cages I made. I only had, the one pipe. There was no mid-height pipe. Now, I'm not going to recut these and put a second layer in today. I haven't bought all the bits for that, but I seeded all this stuff a couple of weeks ago, and things are starting to pop up. So you can see down here, the best results so far. I've got some peas starting to poke up, but the birds are starting to get in here, and I think they're taking the tops off things as they grow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do half the height on the pipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this sort of, I don't know, about there, and just take the top one down halfway, and then I'm going to put the nets back over. And I was thinking about how I was going to attach the nets to the piping, and I thought I'll try something a bit different, because I noticed last time I put these nets on, I just used the zip ties to hold the bottom of the net onto the pipe. So that's well and good if you're going to make that a permanent install, but I want to be able to get in here and pull things out, weeds and plants and whatever. So I decided what I'm going to do, I'll leave them fixed on this side, and then on this side, I'm going to put the zip tie. That's why I've got the zip ties and stuff here. I'm going to put the zip tie around the pipe, and then I'm going to attach the carabiners to the net, and then I can just clip the net to the zip tie loops, and just unclip it when I want to get in there and do stuff. So let's get into it. All right, first things first, get this off here, and then I'm going to take one of these pipes out and measure it. So I've just tied this on really quick and dirty last night to put it on there, but so this is what we'll do. We're just going to take it halfway down. That's 100, so just like that. And then the top here, we'll just clip straight on there, and then we'll do the other layer at some point in the future, in a future video. So I'm just going to keep the pipe handy somewhere, and we'll just keep going and do the rest. Leave these down here for when I finally get around to doing the second half of this, or the second layer, I guess, of where I'll put it. So now we just reassemble the top. There we go, this. Like that, I reckon. Yeah. I haven't glued these pipes together for this very reason. It makes it a lot easier to do stuff like this. So this is going to be a lot easier now to manage, regardless of what I've got growing in here, unless it's something big like corn. And I'm not planting corn in here at the moment because I've got cauliflower, rhubarb, more cauliflower, some onions, that kind of stuff. So that's all low growing stuff. So I don't need a big tall cage to do that. So now I'm going to put some loops under here. Calm down, girls. So I'm not ratcheting on tight because I've still got to put the carabiners on. So just going to do one there, one sort of in the middle there somewhere, one on the end. I was sort of thinking about 5 per side. I'll trim these up in a minute. Okay, let's get this net on. This is not a new net, I've had this for a few seasons now. But I just wanted to keep the birds off. Yeah, all right. Yeah, camera dropped out there. Okay, we're getting progress. I've made a slight change here because I've put carabiners on. I'm going to put carabiners on both sides of this one, simply because that net was already attached to the bottom rail. This one's not. So, as with everything, there's always, when you're making stuff, there's always going to be a variation between how you plan it and how it actually gets implemented. And I think I'm going to put one on the end here as well, just to try and block that down. And it ain't going to be perfect against the birds, but at least it'll put them off for the most part. Don't think I need to worry so much about the back of that. And this asparagus gets everywhere. In fact, might just save those plants to the back yet. Okay. All right, that's the 2 of them done. Okay, so you see I've got the back covered now for my peas. I got this one done as well. I'm going to leave this 3rd bed for the moment simply because these tomatoes are going really well and I don't want to just take them down to half height because I'd like them to keep growing tomatoes while I can. So that's it for now. I'm going to go and I've still got to go put the nets on the other bays yet. So let's see if I got the nets kicking around for that. So stay tuned. All right, I have found a net and I'll put that up in a sec, but I just wanted to show you what's going on here. So we've got all this wheatgrass has come up. So that's me peanuts. And a couple there. This guy is, I don't know what he is actually. He's again come up in the manure because I put all that horse manure in here. So we've got a lot of this stuff and all this wheatgrass. It's just from wheat that got watered. So keep pulling it, and the chickens are quite liking it, but I don't know what this stuff is, but it's not what I wanted, so it comes out. So the chickens are enjoying that. But anyway, let's get this camera reset and get this netting underway. Stay tuned. All right, same basic process as before, except I don't have to cut the pipes this time. I'm just putting the zip tie loops on and the carabiners on. So let's get into it. Yes, I know my grass is long. I don't know whether you can see it on there, but yeah, the grass definitely needs mowing. So that's a task for when I am finished doing this. Because it's been wet the last day or two, and I came out here this morning and I thought, yeah, this grass needs mowing, but it's too damn wet. But thankfully, we've had some sun and it's dried it out pretty well. Right, I'm not going to put you guys through watching me cut the lawn. It's a bit too mundane, so we'll do that in a little while. See how I go with that one. Oh, it's got a net there already. I've used this net a few times now. There's bits of wire and all sorts of things in there which may or may not prove useful over time. So some of those twists of wire that I've got kicking around, I'm going to use those to tighten this up a bit where it needs to be. So I'm going to chuck that sort of stuff away. You never know when you're going to find a use for it. Okay, down to the last one, and we'll call it a day. Well, this one's a bit different in that it's attached already kind of at the other end, so it's going to end up bunched up at this end, so it's not going to look as nice, but we'll at least get the job done. So rinse and repeat. Let's get the loops in. Alright, let's find a corner. Actually, I'm going to start from the other end this time because that's already anchored, so I'm going to use that as my fixed point and come back this way. Oh, we're running out too. I've only got 4 left, so this one could be a little sketchy. 5 left. Let's see. plenty of wood down here. We should have a fire one of these days. Got the fire pit. That's what this is. So been a long time between having a chance to do the fire. Should do something about that now that we're out of fire season. Yes, we ended up quite a bit left, so can't mow the grass with that line down, so I'm just going to throw it up the top, get it out the way, maybe tie it up with a bit of wire. It's not going to take too much sun away from anything because there's nothing growing here except grass, so it doesn't matter. Alright, that'll keep us going. I think let's take a closer look. Alrighty. It ain't pretty, and I might get a few more in here, but whoop. You see I've got it anchored there, a few points down there. I might need to put another loop there and maybe another one somewhere around there. We'll see how it goes. I'll realign one of the meshes here to try and give me some headroom or gain some headroom there, but we'll see how it goes. So in here we have the last of our cucumbers. They're starting to fit. They're just about done now. Rogue's buds as always, and we have cabbages growing here and red onions over there. So they haven't poked their heads up yet, but I hope for a mistake and we can keep watering and we'll get something. Alrighty. So as you can see, there's my fire pit. I've got to clean it out, obviously. But it's meant to be a smokeless fire pit. And it kind of works, kind of doesn't. It depends how much heat you get into it. So now that we're out of the fire season, maybe I'll get that loaded up and then we'll have ourselves a fire. But not today. I'll catch you next time. Righto, that's enough about that. You know the drill. Hit the subscribe button and become part of our thriving community. Of course, if you like my videos, give them a big thumbs up and share them if you want, as that helps the channel out. And also hit the bell to get notified when I put up new content. Okay, that's all from me, so stay healthy, keep thinking. As my mum would say, be good, and if you can't be good at it. I'll see you next time.